hell, WWE? You are failing LA Knight. Yeah, on so many levels, you are just rocking it out, right? Everything you're doing is correct, except for with two wrestlers, and one of them we're going to talk about today, and the other we'll talk in another video. Spoiler alert, the other video is going to be about Finn Balor, and I don't even like the guy, but you're failing him hard. But today we're going to talk about how you're failing LA Knight. Yeah, because it's like the dude was getting his hand raised by the man who can't be seen, John Cena, and he was fighting Roman Reigns. Roman freaking Reigns in Saudi Arabia. And he was getting the better of him on so many segments, and it's like, what? Where is LA Knight? What is happening? I do understand that not everybody can be in the main event right away, and I also understand that, unfortunately, when LA Knight was at his peak, that's when everybody came back. That's when Randy Orton came back. That's when CM Punk came back. That's when the Royal Rumble happened, and we had to have Cody finish his story. Plus, then The Rock comes back. And it's apparent, as Kevin Nash says, and so did LA Knight, say, he's kind of a, I wouldn't say ripoff of The Rock, but he's definitely inspired by The Rock. Now, the guy who inspired him comes back. LA Knight is awesome and amazing, but he will never be The Rock. But that's no shade, because nobody will ever be The Rock. There will never be another The Rock. Just like there'll probably never be another Hogan, never another Stone Cold Steve Austin. You just can never get to those levels. But you can get close enough that we love you. We fall in love with you. LA Knight was the freshest, the coolest, the greatest thing for a while. And it's like, what are you doing with him now? We don't have to throw him away. Yes, he got a good match at WrestleMania 40. Was it spectacular? No. Was it memorable? No. And that's okay too. There are a lot of WWE talents that had, huge main event talents that when you look back at their WrestleMania careers, you're like, wait a minute, he fought them? I totally forgot that Triple H fought Kane at WrestleMania 15. I just forgot about it. I was like, oh, okay, they fought. And then what about Bob Backlund and Bret the Hitman Hart? They also fought at WrestleMania. Stone Cold fought Savio Vega, but that was kind of a, that was before he became Stone Cold. So you can say Stone Cold fought Razor Ramon. These are matches that happened at WrestleMania between main event people just to give them their match. Little storylines, nothing crazy, nothing to shake the world, nothing that after it was all said and done, it was like, okay, moving on. And that's what this match was for LA Knight. It was like, okay, you fought AJ Styles, moving on. And people did enjoy the fact that it was a grudge match between two main event caliber people. They thought the home invasion angle really heated things up, and people were happy with it, and I'm glad. Okay, good. LA Knight got his WrestleMania match, and you have to have a couple of those on your resume to be the next level, and I get that too. But it's just like, I can see it. I can see the mismanagement happening now, because if you're not careful, it's like these little details that subconsciously put in our heads that the guy can't cut it. And these are what I'm talking about. Just a couple right off the bat. I want to voice it out there in internet world because I want us to stop these. Because we need to start giving him these micro ways to elevate him instead of devalue LA Knight. Yeah. So coming out of WrestleMania, that's where I really wanted them to start heating him up again. They didn't have to throw him against Cody Rhodes, because I totally agree with letting AJ Styles take the victory and being Cody Rhodes' first challenger. A, AJ was Roman's first challenger, and B, it shouldn't be face versus face. AJ Styles getting to fight is a good idea, but the way in which AJ won was like, what? He literally won with an eye poke. He poked LA Knight, because they had a number one contender match, he poked LA Knight in the eye, and then he did like the phenomenal forearm or something like that on an episode of SmackDown, and he wins? An eye poke? Like, come on! LA Knight lost to an eye poke. Come on, what is this? 1973? And you're fighting Ric Flair? Dude, no. No, he just looked stupid. Or he looked, maybe he didn't even look stupid, but he didn't look good, right? He did not look like a competent face. Then they keep him on SmackDown. Why would you even do that? We don't need LA Knight, and Cody Rhodes fighting for all the fans' attention. Plus, they're two different faces. Cody is white meat babyface, and LA Knight is more attitude era babyface. They should have totally separated them, put LA Knight onto Raw. The only way that I could see why LA Knight is still on SmackDown, if they plan on giving Jey Uso the title. I could also see them not wanting Jey Uso to have to compete against another top babyface for Cheers, and they feel that Cody's more established and he can survive that. I just really think that LA Knight, his character, his nuances of being a more adult-themed character should be on Raw, which has 3 hours, which is on cable, and which has that goes all the way to the 11 o'clock hour. So you can say more stuff, be a little more risque. But still, oh man, it's like now LA Knight has to fight for the Cheers. He has to fight for the Cheers. And hey, maybe that'll make him hungry. Maybe that'll make him hungry, but I don't see it. I just don't. You know, Cody Rhodes he'll be the first one that comes out. He'll be in the first segment and the last segment, and then LA Knight stuck in the middle, and the crowd will have already got out some of their energy and their cheers. It's not setting up LA Knight for success. But that's not the final nail in the coffin, because you know what? Rock and Stone Cold did coexist. They got cheers. So it's not the end of the world. But what are you doing with him? Getting the Slim Jim sponsorship is not a push, all right? It is not a Macho Man rub. Macho Man got the Slim Jim money after he had already been champion, after he had already established his career, all right? He needs to be elevated on the card. I don't want him fighting Cody Rhodes just yet. I would love for him to be the world champion, but I get it. They're trying to elevate Jey Uso and or Damian Priest. So he's in this kind of weird spot. Pull the trigger. Get him going against Logan Paul. Have them fight all the way to SummerSlam. And I do think that SummerSlam, Logan Paul is fighting Cody. I feel that's what's happening. But really, give Cody someone else and put LA Knight with Logan Paul. A huge match, a huge win, a huge platform. Those two on social media would set everything on fire. You've got something special here. Don't lose it, all right? Don't keep him in that upper mid-card, lower main event level for so long that fans just see him as the guy who can never get it done. We need to see victories. We need to see him as the star. This guy does not play second fiddle to anybody, and we need to see that. We need to see these bigger moments with LA Knight, even if he isn't going after the championship. So when he decides to go after the championship, then it's like, uh-oh, we knew it was happening, here it comes. LA Knight is too special of a talent to lose, and the guy's like, what? He's already in his 40s, so I'm not saying that as a bad thing. Look at all the stars. Almost everybody wrestles now up until 50, but the thing is, though, he's never had the title. So we got to get it on him for a little bit so we can keep him up at that level. You get what I'm saying? Come on, guys. LA Knight, yeah, is awesome. He has the catchphrases. He has the look. He has the swagger. He's a star. Quit it. An eye poke is not something that should keep this guy down. It's time. Pull the trigger. LA Knight, yeah, is awesome. Quit disrespecting my man. Next video, we're going to talk Finn Balor. And do you have any wrestlers you think are being disrespected or mishandled? Because they're probably not being disrespected. That's probably a harsh word, but they are being mishandled. And I want to know, do you have anyone in mind? Because maybe I'll do a video on that too. Guys, I appreciate you. I acknowledge LA Knight, just like I hope you acknowledge the subscribe button. Have a great day.